Hi there, I'm Niven Kelly here for Tronex Tools. I've been making jewelry and teaching nationally for over 16 years, and I am a big fan of the Tronex tools. They're real high quality, they've got comfort grips, and they're 100% made here in the United States. And tools like this that are real high quality are going to make all the difference in your jewelry making. It's going to be more fun, easier on your hands, and the end result is going to be a lot more professional looking. So let me show you a little bit more about these tools. The first tool I'd like to talk about in the Tronex series, and is my personal favorite, is their cutters. These are the wire cutters, and I find them superior to any other cutting tool that I've used, mainly because of their ergonomic handles, their cutting capacity on the blades, and the ability to give me a really nice flush cut on my wire. All the Tronex cutters and pliers come with two different length handles, the long one, the shorter one. And the top of the tools are exactly the same, it's just a difference in handle, and it's really a personal preference, what's more comfortable for you. For me, I like the longer one, it's more comfortable for me, I like the way that it sits in my hand. So it's just a personal preference. Of all the cutters that Tronex offers, my favorite is the 7223, which is a tapered razor flush cutter. The 7 in the 7223 refers to the length of the handle, it's the longer one, and if you wanted the shorter one, that would be a 5223. The reason I like this cutter so much is it comes to a very, very fine point. It also cuts the wire very flush, which I'll show you in a second, and it's great for all of my wire work jewelry projects. I want to explain real quick what I mean by a flush cut on my wire. If you look at the very tip of this wire, you can see it's a little pointed, it's a little beveled. And in my wire work projects where I'm making loops and links, I don't want that. I want a very flat cut. That's what's so great about the 7223 cutter that I like so much. It'll give me a flat flush cut. So I'll show you here. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a snip. And then again, now if I bring it up, you can see that's completely flat. It's a very flush cut. It will make my links and my loops and my jewelry stronger. When making my beaded jewelry and stringing on braided beading wire, I don't use my razor flush cutters. I use these flush cutters. The short handle is a 5222, the long handle is a 7222. And the reason I don't use my razor flush cutters is that this beading wire here has a steel wire base inside. It's very fine, but it will dull the razor edges of the razor flush cutters. So these cutters are perfect for this type of work. Now the beauty of this tool is not only that the blades are made perfectly for cutting this wire, but it's also got that great point. So when cutting your beading wire, you can get right on in there, give it a snip, and it won't leave any edges poking out. And with my 7223s, remember you want to use these razor flush cutters or any of these cutters only for your jewelry, for your fine metals, sterling, fine silver, gold filled, etc. Don't cut any memory wire with these, or let your husband use them on guitar strings, because you can ruin your cutter. Let's preserve these for just our jewelry needs. And on this cutter, I cut 18 gauge and smaller. And I preserve my tip for maybe 20 gauge and smaller. It's a little more sensitive out there. So with my 18 gauge, I'll cut a little further back in the cutter on the blades. And if I needed to cut heavier than 18 gauge, I might step it up to this cutter, which is a 7513. It's a large oval head razor flush cutter. So it's bigger, it can handle those larger gauges, but it also cuts razor flush. But again, keep it for your fine metals only. Tronex also makes a variety of high quality pliers for jewelry making, all again with the cushion grips. They come in short and long handle. They make a flat nose, a short round nose, long round nose, long chain nose, short chain nose, and a bent chain nose. On their chain nose pliers, they bevel the edges of the inside of the jaw so that you don't get that sharp edge you sometimes find in the jaw of pliers that can mar up your jewelry work. So that's a little bit about Tronex tools. I hope you give them a try, and like me, I'm sure you'll find that they make a big difference in the quality of your work.